Hello again. In this video, we are going to be going over the peer review assignment. So in this assignment, what you're basically asked to do is just write a rough draft version of your informative speech, introduction, and conclusion. So this might change by the time you obviously actually write your whole speech, but this is just kind of your rough draft version, and you are going to submit this to a group forum for your peers or your classmates to review, and then you are going to review at least 3 of your classmates. So whenever you open this folder, you'll see it's something along these lines. So you'll want to download the template with an explanation and also the template if you want to upload it from a Word document. I will say sometimes it's easier just to go ahead and click in here and just write it directly into the forum. But if you'd rather save it on your computer and do it that way, you can also do that and then upload it as an attachment. So that works too. But before we go into those, I kind of just want to go over this section. So what you're going to be asked to do is obviously either write in your introduction and conclusion directly into the form, like I just said, or attach it as a Word document. But then you are going to have to read at least 3 other classmates' introductions and conclusions, and they give feedback to that. That's why it's a peer review assignment. So when you do this, it has each of your comments to people on their intros and conclusions must be at least 100 words. So while I'm not going to be double checking that exactly it's 100 words, I am going to look and see that is this at least a full paragraph? Do you have 3 to 5 sentences at least, right? You want to explain what you liked about the intro and conclusion, what you think could be improved. What I don't want to see is, I like it, right? Like that's not enough. And honestly, I don't even know if 3 sentences is enough. And you really need to be going more into detail. Like you need to be telling the writer, hey, I really liked your attention getter because, or you could say, I felt like the speech was really great. However, I didn't feel like you really connected with me. You didn't really make it very relevant to me as an audience member. I didn't really know why I needed to listen or how it impacted me. Those would be really good things to comment. You might tell them you like the creative ending statement, whatever it is. So one good thing to look at in order to know how you could better critique or review your peers is to look at this peer review assignment template explanation. So that's the first one up here. And you see that in each of these, I tell you what exactly should go in this section. So in the attention getter, this is obviously where you grab your audience's attention. You tell them exactly, like maybe you tell them a quote, or maybe you tell them, part of your own story, or maybe you ask them a question, whatever it is, but you want to get their attention. In the next section, right, you would link it to your topic. So however you got their attention, then you then start talking about your topic, bring it back to that. And then relevance to audience, make the topic relevant. Obviously, you want your audience to feel like there's a reason why they want to listen, right? What is in it for me kind of mentality, right? So maybe if it's like you're talking about diabetes, then you might talk about it's one of the fastest growing diseases in America. So you want to talk, you kind of get your audience's attention. So they're like, oh wait, I live in America right now. So that might affect me. Why is that? Why is that the fastest growing? All right, so that would be something you could ask them or you could tell them. As always, you always want to cite information. So if you tell us a statistic, make sure to tell us exactly who it's from. So if you're doing a speech about COVID-19, you would want to say something along the lines of, according to the CDC, or the Center of Disease Control, in 2020, COVID-19, blah, 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 right? So you want to make sure to say those words so we know exactly where that information came from. All right, so that is basically kind of what you want to talk about whenever you're giving the review. So look at this and see what I ask you to put in each section, and then read someone's intro and conclusion and see, does it answer these questions or does it follow this template, right? If it doesn't, give them some critiques on that. Say maybe, say if they write a really long thesis, tell them, hey, remember the thesis is only supposed to be a 1-sentence statement, clearly listing your 3 points in order. So they know, oh yeah, I remember Miss Peters said that, so I want to go back and fix it, right? So again, just make sure that you go through, you comment on at least 3 classmates on their intro and conclusion, and you give them some good feedback. Again, not just I like it or that was good or whatever. You want to make sure that you tell them exactly what it is that they either did well and why, or what they could improve upon and why. And always do everything in love. So nothing mean, nothing rude. And let's see if there's anything else really important on this. The formatting is important. If you notice, this is similar to the introduction speech that you did before, the outline you did before. We're keeping that same outline. Remember, this is a rough draft, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but at the same time, you want to obviously read back over it before you submit it. You want to look over grammar. I will be reading these as well, so I'll be grading that too. So you want to make sure that you're not just submitting something you obviously didn't look over, right? We don't want to do that. So what you're actually graded on is going to be what you wrote. So that's a major part of it. But then you are also graded on your actual critique. So what you write or what your submission, you'll be graded on that. And then also what you respond to other people. So if you only upload your intro and conclusion and you never say anything to anybody else, you're going to miss out on those points. So you want to make sure that you have that. One thing that I'm realizing after you're making this video is that I probably should give you maybe just an example. I don't think that let's see, is there an example on this one? No, it looks like, I feel like I need to give y'all an example. So I'm gonna also, after this video, add a example, and I'm also going to add a rubric or just kind of write out what it is that I'm going to be grading on the rubric. So you have both of those things, so you're not just kind of in the dark on that. But for the most part, this is everything that you need. Just make sure to fill it in completely. It needs to be written in full sentence format, and I'm not really looking for a length as far as your part, as far as like your intro and conclusion, but as long as all of these are filled in adequately, then it'll be great. So again, just follow this template. You can either attach it or you can write it directly into the peer review group forum. So you'll just click on that if you want to write it directly in, or if you're going to attach it, you'll just create a thread. Write in your subject, maybe put your name and the topic, and then you can either write it directly in here or you can attach a file and submit. So that is all you need to know for this one. Let me know if you have any questions.